Welcome to Birthmark. My name is Adhiambo Pundo, and this is a show that talks about birth injury, birth trauma, and genetics. And in our last episode, we discussed about the importance of gene counseling and why we all need gene counseling. Now, gene counseling will help us save lives and help us make our lives manageable, especially to those with birth injuries or with genetical disorders. Now today, we're at Better Stream. We're going to discuss physiotherapy and occupational therapy and how this therapy can be helped to help our children who actually sustained injury either through birth or through accidents or whatever that comes across generally in life. Dr. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Mr. Mukabwa Dusdegit. I'm a senior physiotherapist here at Better Stream. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So, Dr. Tell me about the role of occupational therapy on children with delayed milestones. Does it work or does it not work?
Yeah, you realize that in normal life, when a child is born, he's supposed to undergo some stages which we call development growth. So when a child misses either of the stages, number one, like a new child should start by suckling so that he can breastfeed. That's the first stage of feeding of a child. A child at a certain stage, like a month or two, should be able to roll his head, turn left, right. A child should be able to sit at a certain stage, stand, or even crawl and walk. If a child misses either of these stages, then we say the child has missed a milestone. We call it a delayed milestone. Now, delayed milestone has effect in the growth of this child because the child may get it in the earlier ages or miss it totally. So, we are people specialists in aiding this child. It could be either because of injury, illness, or disability. There are people specialists called occupational therapists which aid this child to learn, relearn, to do daily living activities. Yeah, they just do stimulation. We call it stimulating the delayed milestone. What did the child miss? Suckling. How do they stimulate suckling? So the child can suckle and at least get to feed. You see, so occupational therapists, we are so specialists here on pediatric care for kids, and majority of the children come with such ailments. It could be an illness, a disability, or even an injury. We have delayed milestones, we have autistic children, we have children with speech impaired, we have visual impaired, we have even physical disabled children because of delayed milestone. The brain did not get enough oxygen for that part of the brain to grow so the child can perform that activity. Wow. So we stimulate that part to do it, and in steps we want this child to gain full mobility and body function. Even if it is minimal, we appreciate that child. We have achieved a lot at Better Stream, and that's a high performing department at Better Stream.
One of the many things as parents that we do take for granted is the ability to give birth, go back home with a healthy child, and see this child through adolescence without any condition. Now, I'm going to ask Dr. a few questions. Dr.
Yes.
When you have children come to you, how do you access or how do you evaluate these kids and then decide this one needs physiotherapy, this one needs occupational therapy, or this one just needs stretching, whatever it is? How does that happen? How do you do that? Can you just take us through what happens?
In normal situations, when we receive our clients, especially children, it's difficult to know because they're always carried and wrapped up by their parents. And adult is very easy because when you walk in, that's when a doctor makes his first diagnosis. When you step in a doctor's door, he'll see your posture, he'll see how you are walking. If you are in pain, he'll know you are in pain. If you are leaning, he'll know you are leaning. If you are tired, he'll know. If you are carried, he'll know your status. But with children, they're always wrapped up and carried unless the parent explains. So what we do is this. For children who are affected with delayed milestone or whichever illness or injury or an accident, we do what we call physical examination from head to toe, so that we look at the body alignment first. And then after body alignment, how is the body? If the child has a frail neck, child cannot support the neck. You'll just see the child maintaining one position. Whichever stimulation you do, like making noise like clapping, shouting at the child, calling the child's name, or even teasing the child, you'll find no movement. You just know this child has a frail neck, a weak arm, because a child will always respond to any noise by lifting all legs and hands up. Even in a newborn, even if you touch the beddings, the child will always get frightened. Yeah. If a child is not making any movement, you are already suspecting there's something wrong. Number two, the mother's history. Mother will tell you, when I gave birth to this child, he was not able to suckle, cannot breastfeed. This child just lies in one position until I turn the child, and the child is almost 3 months, 4 months. This child cannot sit. Child is 6 months. My child is 2 years, cannot stand. My child is 1 year, has never crawled. You see, yeah. So history, mother's history is actually very significant. Number two, through disability mainstreaming, we have ways to find out if this child has a disability even before the parent knowing. We do screening in our labor wards. Immediately the child is given birth to, in our labor ward, we do, physiotherapists are invited to do routine screening of the newborns, where we do screening from head to toe to find any deformity. And most of the deformities we get is one, hydrocephaly. A child is born with a big head. Number two, microcephaly. A child born with a very small head. Number three, perhaps one arm not functioning, because when during birth, there's a lot of pressure which was put on the arm while the child was being pulled out. Number four, club foot. You find a child seated with legs like folding to one another, or knock knee or bow leg. Yeah, most of them can be corrected immediately there. Some take time to be corrected, but the most important thing in the management of this case is one, identification. Have we identified early so that we manage it early? That's why we do disability screening of all newborns in the labor ward, and then the government has put up measures on disability mainstreaming. So from that stage, what should be done until this child is a normal adult? That's what we mean by disability mainstreaming. So a lot is done at the healthcare level to assist the mother and sensitize the mother. So from there, the mothers learn how to identify. So you tell the mother, although your child is okay, but check for this. Is he able to cycle well? Is he able to lift his head at this age? Is he able to turn his head? Is he able to talk at this age? To respond to sound, you see. So I think most of 90% of the population is aware. But for the 10% who are not aware on how to identify and take care of, the children grow into adults with disabilities.
Doctor, here we are talking about a situation whereby we have a working mother, we have a working father, we have a nanny at home, and 3 months elapses, the mother has to go back to work because they're done with the maternity leave. And then you realize maybe very late. I'd really like to see pointers where we help working couples to identify. I know you've mentioned it, but what is the most urgent thing that they need to look up for? Because I know even when a child is born, there's the APGA score that is checked.
Yeah.
That is different from the disability mainstreaming you're talking about.
But it's one of the factors to be checked.
Okay.
Yeah, because when it's low, it means a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Just look at the pointers. So Dr. will take us through again what we need to check out for the busy mom, for the busy dad, that delayed milestone might take up to 6 years, because we have 6-year-olds. We have people who are saying that the 6-year-olds have not spoken, and you ask them, what is wrong with your baby? Even them, they're not able to tell you exactly what is wrong. Dr. How is this possible? Does this population fall under the 10% you're talking about?
Yeah, most population which fall under the 10% is what you are saying, because most parents say they are busy and they leave these small childs to caretakers. All they want to know is whether the child fed or not. And then number two, you realize that we have stigma. Some parents don't even want to say their children have a deformity or have a delayed milestone. It's always a super child. Even when brought to the clinic, most children, when you put them down without shoes, because you just want to see on a flat surface, a sole of the feet. Is it flat on the ground, bend or what? Actually, you get into problems with them because they ask you, why do you put my child down without socks, without shoes? But you take time to explain, and some of them may not come back. So to manage this, I think when the parent actually follows up, like we have Ministry of Health guidelines, where a mother should always take the child to clinic for 5 months, for 5 years. So these guidelines actually have helped. So that when the child goes for certain immunization, we are opening up our maternity clinic so that even physios and whatever could visit so that and check on these children. Even the nurses should check on physical, not only what is indicated on the card. And I think in future the cards will be improved so that they include disability screening in our MCH clinics.
The purple book.
Yeah, because it's only immunization. What about, and you're immunizing polio and the child has polio and you don't know. You see, so I think they will be improved to that level. But that one has really helped so that if this child goes for a full immunization clinic, everything will be sorted. But those who miss out are those who are now falling to 10%. Yeah, they miss out in everything. In the care of the child at home, in the care of the child at the health facility level. So these are the children we are looking for. And I think most NGOs and most non-governmental organizations like APDK, like UNICEF, and which one? And we have this one at the Ministry of Education, IAC. Those who assess the children and place them in schools. They are doing a lot of outreaches so that to reach these parents at home, identify the child, sensitize the parent about the disability, and rehabilitate these children and place them in school or in special homes or vocational training. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Harry. I think one of the things that we need to emphasize on is the importance of going to hospitals for checkup and insisting and rather informing the nurses or the doctors about your child's condition. Do not be afraid. Just say anything. It doesn't matter. I think you'd rather just say everything, even if you sound so stupid. Yeah. But I think your child will get help.
You'll help your child.
Yeah. I think that's the most important thing. Thank you so much for watching. This is Birthmark.